Hello Whowind and welcome back to the main channel. Today's a slightly different video. As you can probably tell, I've got a microphone here because I'm using unique cameras. Hooray! Right, there we go. Right, so things might look a little bit odd, sound might slightly be off, because I'm using unique cameras and I'm trying to learn. Today's video is going to be slightly shorter than I was expecting. I didn't expect how long it would take me to set this up, because I generally assumed I was right, but obviously, it's my first time using this outside of, using my own equipment, such as the video assist, and attaching the microphone and making sure that it's set up, make sure that the white balance and all the techie stuff's correct on the lighting front. So today we're doing another episode of Whowind. As you can tell by the mammoth task of me setting this up, this is why the episode is not sat on a couch like I said it would be. It was actually a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but it was take a lot longer, so it was a lot easier doing it upstairs, because then I'd have to truck all this back upstairs from downstairs. So today's video is all about, it's Whowind, as you know, but it's all about Scream of the Shalka. Now, Scream of the Shalka was going to be the new series of Doctor Who, was going to be New Who. Richard E. Grant was going to be the Ninth Doctor. Richard E. Grant was going to not be Christopher Eccleston, but because of how long animation takes to actually film and edit, animate, it took longer than they expected, and it was only 2 months after the announced Doctor was coming back that it got released. Now, it is available on DVD, it's not web exclusive anymore. The animation is far better than the animation we got later on with the David Tennant stuff, which I think I reviewed, I think I spoke about on this channel, but if I haven't, I will probably do a Whowind video on it. So, I have got a few issues with it, but it's of its time. Now, if we were going to put it on a Blu-ray box set, because we're on the Blu-ray box sets, if you can see, the update, special effects and updated. So if we extract the audio and redo the animation so it's up to date for a modern audience now, for the Blu-ray box set, so like a Simpsons style or some more modern cartoon style, then that would solve the animation problem, because I'm watching it now as a rewatch, I'm thinking, ugh, that animation's not aged well. And so, sorry if the microphone's in the way as well of me, I do apologise. It's just, I was going to put it on stand, then I was going to put it on the camera, but it was going to be in shot. So, there's a few issues I have with it. Now, let's start off with the obvious problem. The scream. Because it's called Scream of the Shalka, there's a bit in it where there's a scream, the Shalka, which is the villain of the story, they scream, and it's not a pleasant scream. So it just sounded a little bit like, a little bit screeching, a little bit not pleasant. You could do a scream that's probably pleasant, I don't know, but it wasn't really a pleasant scream. I do think that Richard E. Grant was fantastic as the Doctor, but I think they could have, I don't know if they did, so I do apologise in advance, but I think they could have shaped the face a lot more like Richard E. Grant, because I'm watching this thinking, if this was live action, they wouldn't be able to make it like that. His hair, probably, the costume, yes, but not the face. Now, the sonic screwdriver was quite good, because it's the same as what we had in Classic Who, so it matched with Classic Who. It's just that this one had a beam coming out of that end. Other bits I like that I wish Russell had taken forward with him was the phone. So Richard E. Grant picks up the phone and says TARDIS, and then the TARDIS materialises around him, but not all of it materialises, it just is how much you need of the TARDIS. And I quite like that concept, so I think that should return. Tutti Gatwa's got his Sonic that looks like a Sky remote, so that could technically use as a phone here, because it's TARDIS. I quite like the phone element, because that just made things more interesting, because it's a mobile phone instead of a landline, which is what currently in the TARDIS. The companion wasn't that great, but if we'd seen more of her, like we were going to, then she might have grown and we might have become better. The army, I can't remember if they were calling them unit, but the army was there. And I think that sort of, it didn't hinder it in any way. It just made it weird that they didn't mention it was a unit. They could have, because of, well, Nicholas Courtney hadn't passed away yet. They could have got Nicholas Courtney back in. The robot master, is that the actual master or is that a robot? So my question is when you're looking at the timeline of the master, will Robot Master be in the timeline or was Robot Master separate? Because I quite like how Paul Cornell and the gang got Sir Derek Jacobi in before Russell T Davies. So I think Sir Derek Jacobi would be a good in-between master that ended up becoming the War Master for Big Finish listeners. It was the in-between, because we learned all about his adventures once he'd got his memory back, not just regenerated Johnson, who was a fantastic actor, by the way. So, I really liked how that all played out. I like the Robot Master because it was a unique setting, and it looked a lot like Roger Delgado's Master and all the Masters before, but it worked really well in that sense of, I just hit myself. In that sense, it worked really well. So I commemorate it for going a step further and including a Robot Master, because no one else would have thought of that. Only Doctor Who. And I do think that this story, whereas there is flaws, so that Shalka screaming, I'm not too keen on, the black hole, some of the animation that, obviously, because it was made for a website, needed autoplay, could be improved if we were shoving it on a Wilderness Years collection box set. Let me just lean more towards it. So we can update the animation, because the audio is easy to extract, and we can do new animation just to celebrate the collection box set. So overall, I do think it was a worthy episode. It was a good story. There was bits in it that was really good. I just didn't like so it's of its time, and I think the animation sort of, even though the animation is still quite good, I do think bits of it now could be improved when we move it into the collection box set era, when we move it into the modern era of restoration on TV programs, because that's what the collection box set does. It like updates the special effects. Because that could be part of the box set, because we could have like the Children in Need special, the Red Nose Day special on there. We can have other bits and bobs in a Wilderness Years collection. But I do think that if they update the animation for the collection box set, that would make it a unique selling point. Oh, it's the first time ever seen a newly animated Scream of the Shalka. Because Richard E. Grant is perfect and should be. We should have Big Finish doing Shalka Doctor stuff. So like, the Doctor could be on other adventures, but he could be like a special variant of the 8th Doctor. We could call him 8.5 Doctor, or we could call him the Wilderness Doctor. We could have some name for him that matches him through, so that he then regenerates into. Because we don't see John Hurt actually regenerate at the end of the 50th. As in, we see him regenerate, but we don't see his face turning into Christopher Eccleston, so he could have regenerated into Richard E. Grant before he regenerated into Christopher Eccleston. So who knows? I would give this story an 8 out of 10, because obviously there were a few bits that I wasn't too keen on, but I really liked how they managed to pull off a website only episode that auto-played. I do wish it was a full series, because I wish some of the characters continued, but hopefully, like Grace could continue in Big Finish if they'd sorted out the rights to the TV film. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching Whowind. Whowind will return with a less posher camera and actually be on a sofa. So, thank you guys for watching. Tell me what about. Bye! Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel.